Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Manager 2017 and our European Journeyman series at Bayer Leverkusen as we look to defend our Bundesliga title. We're kicking off the new Bundesliga season today, having won the UEFA Super Cup 4-1 against Juventus in the last episode. That was a very impressive result. I'm hoping for another one today because we're taking on Borussia Dortmund and they're going to be a very difficult team to beat, one of the early title contenders for sure. So if we can set them 3 points behind us from game one, then we would be very happy. We'll also take on Werder Bremen away from home. They're going to be tough too, but definitely two teams that we should be beating and we need to be beating if we're going to defend our title. Now we are playing on the Friday, having won the Super Cup on a Tuesday, so we haven't had as much rest as we might like, but the team is still in decent shape, and with a couple of changes we managed to freshen it up quite a bit. So we've got Bernardo Silva continuing to play up front despite not being completely fit. He's alongside Braga and Janssen as he was in the Super Cup final. Betty and Havertz are the two in midfield, with Douglas Santos at left back, Miklachak at right back, and then Traub, Brukas and Jensch across the back line with Nezovic in goal. Well, here is the game kicking off. This is quite a big game to have right as the opening match, but hopefully the home advantage will tell for us and we'll be able to secure the win. We have given possession away very early on there, but not a lot happening in the opening 10 minutes or so. Given how we dominated Juventus, I am expecting us to beat Borussia Dortmund today. They shouldn't really be a big challenge. None of the German teams got very far in the Champions League other than us when we won it. So here they are down the left flank, the ball cleared out by our man, and now Bernardo Silva can counter-attack. He does not have the legs anymore, but he's got one heck of a pass on him. He's beaten one defender though, and then he's done something with it. I have no idea what that was or why it was deemed to be a highlight. It must have been a shot, but nothing coming from that. But as I was saying, none of the German teams did very well in the Champions League other than us, so we should really, as league and European champions, be dominating games all the way through the season. Now here's Douglas Santos onto Betty. He sends it over to Miklachak. He's put it over the top. Janssen was in there and the defenders fluffed it up a little bit. They've managed to recover it. We have won the ball in midfield. Here's Betty out wide to Douglas Santos. First time ball into Bernardo Silva, but the keeper has come out to claim it. And we're about 1 yard away from that key touch we need to be able to get an effort in on goal. But it's just breaking. But I think that we should be able to make our way through in this game. I see us getting the win. Neither side with a shot on target at the moment, which is a little bit surprising. We really need to be creating these chances, and they just haven't come. We have had that one clear-cut chance, apparently. I don't remember which chance that was. I'm assuming not the Bernardo Silva hoof over the bar. But yeah, half is petering out into nothingness at the moment. 0-0 at half-time and not a single shot on target. I am not happy with that whatsoever, especially compared to the performance we put in against Juventus, getting 4 goals, and we probably could have had more as well. So the team definitely need to step it up. I might need to take Bernardo Silva off. Braga's having a bad game. Janssen's not having a good game either, and that's where the problem lies at the moment. But here is another highlight. Tretel with the ball into Borgman, sends it into Ginter, Marino, over to Robles. He then puts it into Marino again. Horvat back to Robles. Borges out to Robles, sorry. He loses it to Douglas Santos. Good tackle there. Traub. Can we get this ball forward? Douglas Santos does play it into the path of Bernardo Silva, and there's that pass over the top looking for Braga, but cut out by Ginter. We've just not been able to make that pass work today, and now they're attacking down our left flank with Horvat. He puts the cross in, and Murphy is there at the near post, and as it happens every time, when we cannot get that breakthrough, we just really struggle and will always concede. It happens every single time. It happened against Gladbach in the last 2 cup finals, and now it's happened at home against Dortmund, and I'm really frustrated. I thought the signings we made, I mean, Janssen's done nothing since we brought him in, which doesn't help, and we just haven't had the cash to sign any decent players. We're going to have to bring Natgal on for Bernardo Silva. It's 3 changes at the same time, which I don't like to do. But given we were European and League champions, we were given just £25 million and no wage budget by the board. and my repeated attempts to get more money out of them have not worked. And you can see that the lack of investment is showing in the team. The team was not good last season. It was a tactic that carried us through, and we are not good this season either. And here come Dortmund again. It's Murphy on the ball, back to Robles. He's then skipping tackles and goes for goal. Another pointless shot, which sums up this game, really. And we've just not done enough. We really need more money, but there is no one that I can sell other than Traub and Betty who would bring in enough cash to overhaul the team. And I can't afford to sell Traub or Betty because they are our two best players by far. And nobody I bring in will be able to replace the gap that they leave. So there's literally nothing I can do, and we're about to lose our first game of the season at home to Borussia Dortmund. Doumbia back to Traub, Nachtigall into Braga, there's the tackle, there's the full-time whistle, and we've lost the opening game of the season. Absolutely unacceptable by the team for us to lose that. The team is better than that. We should be winning every game in the German League, and any hopes of an unbeaten season have just flown out of the window in week 1. Well, after losing our first game of the season at home against Borussia Dortmund, we now have to win this away match against Werder Bremen. Fortunately, we've had 8 days rest, so the team is in a much better place than they were for that game against Dortmund. Douglas Santos, the only player not fully fit, but he's still over 90%, so he'll start at left wing back, Miklacak filling in at right wing back. Then it's El Said, Traub and Rukas in the back three with Nezovic in goal. Jarlo makes his Bundesliga debut in the middle with Betty. Then Havertz, Braga and Janssen are the front three charged with actually scoring a goal today. Jarlo wins the ball. He then sends it over to Miklacak. Ball inside to Betty. Forward to Havertz. Douglas Santos, very far up the pitch, switches to Miklacak. He then slips it in and Janssen is in on goal, but he cannot finish it. Still, he does not have his first goal for the club. Miklacak with a good tackle now. Janssen. He's looking to run inside, finds Braga. Betty onto Havertz, and he's put it over the bar. Corner taken by Betty over half hour into this game. El Said to the back post for Traub, and it's just whipped across by El Said again. But nobody there to get the final touch on it, and the chance goes begging. Apparently we've had 3 clear-cut chances now in this game, and we have not taken any of them. Douglas Santos sends the ball back to El Said. Betty into Santos again. Janssen slips it into Havertz. He's in a good position, but he does absolutely nothing with it. Ball picked up by Rukas. Janssen inside to Betty. Ball over the top. Braga is in on goal, and he does finish it. Finally, we take the lead. Braga's third of the season. He is carrying the team a bit at the moment, and the other two up front really need to get their game in gear. Well, there's just 20 minutes left, and still we only have 1 goal. I mean, Werder Bremen have not had a shot in this match, and yet we only have a 1-0 lead despite all of our efforts at goal. It's really annoying that still we have not been able to fix this goal-scoring situation. It must be related to the tactic as well as the players that we have up front. I mean, Janssen has got something like 16 or 17 for finishing, and he still hasn't got a goal for us. I don't understand that whatsoever. Fortunately, Braga has 3, and he's had another one today, which means that we are going to take the points. But a 1-0 win should have been about 5-0 based on the amount of chances we had. Braga has just hit the woodwork again there. But we have got the 3 points. That's the most important thing. We're off the mark in the Bundesliga. 3 points on the board, which should take us up at least into the top half of the table after 2 games. We are in 10th place, we're not in the top half, and a lot of other teams still to play. Dortmund off to the perfect start, and Bayern won their first game of the season. But that is something that we can catch up over time. I've got no doubt about that, and I also don't know why the help level has decided to come on. We're going to have to get rid of these now. But a bit of a frustrating episode and a frustrating start to the season. Losing the DFL Super Cup was really annoying, and losing the first game of the Bundesliga is equally as annoying. But next time out we'll have 2 more Bundesliga games to try and get our season off right, and hopefully be in the top 3 by the end of those 2 games. We'll also have the Champions League draw to figure out who will be playing in the defence of our European title. But that is going to be it for this episode. Do drop a like on the video if you've enjoyed the episode. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel as well. And you can always follow me on Twitter for all the latest updates. But until next time, see ya.